Hey everybody, welcome back to TGB Insider. So, last time I promised we would look at the announcements made at the Jeff Keighley Awards, and there were quite a few. So I know I'm a little late to the party again. Decided I wanted to get the Metroid video out, and you guys seem to be liking it, so I think I made the right choice. But yeah, we're going to dive into those announcements. I was considering talking about what won awards at the show, but I looked at it and then I realized I really don't care. So we're just going to talk about the games that have been announced, and there's been more game announcements since. We've kind of had a nice cool little window of stuff being announced, and if you're here, maybe you want to hear my opinion on it, so let's get to it. Keep in mind this is just going to be things I care about, so I'm not going to talk about everything. I assume the things I care about are the things you care about. So first off on my list I have From Software's new game. They showed a teaser which was like 10 seconds long, and you know, the impressive thing about this is that From Software has reached a point where they can literally just show up with 5 seconds of nothing and their logo, and people are like, whoa, oh my god, oh, what's it gonna be? You know, From Software's been around a while, like a long time. Like, if they had done this like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, before the whole Souls series, no one would have cared. No, no one would care if you showed up with the From Software logo to your event. But now there's such a big deal off the back of a hardcore action RPG, which in and of itself is kind of crazy. I know people talk about Souls too much, but it is still kind of mad that they pulled this off, and people are going wild about it. And I have no idea what it's going to be, because nobody does. There's a sort of twangy Japanese feel, I guess, to it, so it would be cool if we were getting another Tenchu game. I think that would be interesting to see at this stage in From Software's life, to see them go back to the Tenchu series, the stealth ninja shit. I'd be down for that. I'd certainly be down for it more than another, what do the kids call them? The Souls-like games where you go around collecting little orbs in third person, and then you level up at some kind of level up station, and then you go and fight monsters with input delay. I would rather have a Tenchu game than that. or maybe it's a completely new thing, who knows. The only reason I really bring it up is because I find it so amusing that now From Software can literally just do their logo and people get excited. I think it's pretty crazy. Okay. Soul Calibur 6 got announced. I think it's nice to see the Soul Calibur series back after a little hiatus. They used to come out pretty quickly back in the early 2000s, I think. I might be wrong about that. I don't know. We got 2, 3, and 4, then 5, and then it's been a while since 5. I haven't played the series too much. I like the series, and Soul Calibur 6 looks fine. The only thing that really stuck out to me is that it looks a lot like Tekken 7 graphically. Like, a lot, and I know they're probably using the same tech, but it looked a bit like a Tekken 7 mod to me graphically. I don't know. It looks nice. I just can't stop thinking about Tekken 7 when I look at it, that's all. There were some Bayonetta announcements, like the first 2 games coming to Switch, but of course the big one is that we're getting a 3rd game, which I'm happy about. You know, I'm not the kind of guy who jumps for joy at 20-second teaser trailers, because it's, you know, if they had something to show, they'd show it. But yeah, it's great. I love Bayonetta, and I can't wait for them to make a 3rd one and see what they do. I'm hoping... See, I hate doing this. I hate looking at teaser trailers and trying to guess what the game's going to be about. But there's some representation of Bayonetta in the teaser, getting really messed up and beaten down. And I think that would be good for the 3rd game, if it's a little more of a struggle for Bayonetta to get through the trials, get through the journey. Because, you know, she's pretty laid back about the situations she's put in the first 2 games. I mean, that's kind of the character. But to see her struggle a bit at the end of this trilogy, that would be pretty good. I think that would be a pretty intense turn to take. And it's coming to Switch. I still don't own a Switch, but I seem to buy every new version of Bayonetta 1 that comes out. So if I do get a Switch and I get Bayonetta 1, that will be my 5th copy of the game. So if the game runs well on the Switch, I might be getting that. But yeah, again, teaser trailer. Not much to say. Looking forward to it. The last 2 were good. Hopefully this 3rd one will be good. So I've got written down here, Death Stranding is still on its bullshit, which it absolutely is. I really don't like the precedent this game is setting for how to hype up games. You know, legendary director, game creator Hideo Kojima, he comes off MGS5, breaks up with Konami, and then like 8 months later he's showing a trailer for this new game, Death Stranding, which, you know, of course means he hasn't made anything in that time. Hardly anything on the game's probably been done yet. Probably only that trailer was made at the time. And what, it's been like another year since then? And lo and behold, it's another cinematic we're being shown. You know, I get excited about playing video games, not about watching trailers for a video game. And especially after MGS5, which had some of the most amazing trailers a video game has ever had, which amounted to pretty much nothing when the game came out. And that's the thing, maybe I'd be more inclined to rub my chin and go, what's Kojima doing here? If he had made a game that I've really liked in like the last 10 years, which he really hasn't. You know, I know I'm supposed to be sitting here scratching my head or like, oh, what does it all mean? But it's like, what even is this game? At the moment, it just seems to be a bunch of clips of his actor friends hanging out, doing crazy things. I don't know if it should be a new rule that you're not allowed to show your video game unless you have a video game to show, but I am definitely not interested in this game yet. I've probably said all this before, but Hideo Kojima's affinity for movies has been nice sugarcoating on the Metal Gear series and even like old stuff like Snatcher. It's been a nice little twist on things that has complemented the game, but at this point it just seems like with Death Stranding, he just wants to make a movie about his favorite actors or with his favorite actors in it. And you know, I may be wrong. Maybe they're making the most gamey game of all time, but that's not what they're showing. That's not any of the reasons we're being given to be excited for this game. We're being told to get excited because Norman Reedus is going to be doing some crazy shit on a beach with babies, and there's going to be spooky things in the sky, and you're going to play this game wondering, oh, what's going on? You know, it used to be Kojima just wanted to make a game about a fucking spy who goes into a base and blows up a robot. That's what it used to be. Or like, I'm going to make Blade Runner. That would be fun. Just so I don't come off completely cynical, I'll say, hey, if the game comes out and it's really good, then great. I'll play it. I'll have a grand old time. I'll come to you and tell you that Kojima's latest romp is legendary. But I don't see why I need to be excited about it. And I don't really think any of you guys strike me as the kind of people to be excited about it either until we've seen more. So, there you go. Aside from the Jeff Keighley Awards, we also got a Nintendo Direct, which I didn't watch. I don't really watch them much. But someone on a news site wrote down what they announced, so I'll go through that, since some of it's pretty interesting. Dark Souls is coming to Switch, which I believed was rumored for a while, and it's also coming to next-gen consoles. There aren't really any major additions to the game, which I don't really mind. It's going to be 4K on PC, it's going to be 1080-60 on PS4, and an Xbox One, but unfortunately it's only going to be 30 frames per second on the Switch. And I hate to be that guy, but that really is kind of a thing that prevents me from being excited about these Switch ports. Like, you go to the shops and I see these games like Skyrim and Doom, and they're priced at like 40-50 quid. I know that if I just go home and get on my PC, I can play a version that like objectively plays better than that Switch version, and that's always going to kind of be a hard rock for me to jump over when it comes to buying Switch ports, even though, yeah, I mean, I'm down for a game being portable and taking it everywhere, but I don't really know if I want to pay money just for that. I'm assuming the Bayonetta ports are going to be 60 frames per second because they're, you know, they target 60 on last-gen consoles, so, I mean, I'm assuming they're not going to mess that up. I think it would be pretty tragic if they did, but, you know, even like games like Doom, I think they should be played at 60 because they feel so good, so I'd rather be at home doing it. I wish there was a way that you could, like, hook the Switch dock to your PC, and so, you know, when you take it off the dock, it's on the Switch, but when you put it on the dock, it connects to the PC and just activates the PC version of the game. You know, a sort of upgraded dock for the Switch that adds a little more power to it, that maybe can up the performance of the games. That would be good. I don't think they do it. It probably isn't possible, but that's the thing holding me back from these ports. A cool sounding port that they are getting is that Donkey Kong game, the iced one, which I never played. I played the first one. Yeah, I have played the first Donkey Kong Country, but I mean, I played the first Wii Donkey Kong Country Returns thing, and I never played that one. So it seems like we're just getting a bunch of Wii U ports. There's also like that Pokemon fighting game. Hopefully we're going to get to the point where every Wii U game worth playing is on the Switch, so we can all forget that console ever happened. So to round up the news segment, we've got the Hideaki Itsuno Twitter News Hour. The madman's done it again. He said he'd announce his new game this year, and, well, not this year, last year in 2017, and look at us now. We're not in the year 2017 anymore. He has done another Twitter apology for not announcing his game, and since then he's shown a photo of himself with what I assume is the development team he works with. Pretty substantial team. Still no game. He's telling us to expect it. He said the game is under climax and that he is making a very great game. You know, which I can't argue with that. He's just saying, I'm making a great game. What do you want from me? I kind of like the earnestness. It's the same as usual. Is it Devil May Cry? Is it Dragon's Dogma? Who knows? I guess we'll know soon. The thing that, like, surprises me the most about this whole saga, because he said he was working on this game on Twitter at, like, the beginning of 2016, which is 2 years ago. And it just makes me, like, surprised games get made at all, really. Because think about it, right? Hideaki Itsuno, he's been getting up, you know, every morning, except Sundays, I assume, going into work and working on this game from 9 to 5 or whatever, probably longer, because he's in game development and they work them to the bone. And for 2 years he does this, and he can't even say what he's making, you know? Like, I struggle making a video that takes me more than a month to make, and that's just some video I put online. This guy's making a game over the course of 2 years. It must be hard as hell not to get on Twitter and be like, this is what I'm making. I can't wait for you guys to play. Anyway, it seems like we're finally approaching the point where we will be told what this game is soon. I'm assuming it will be no later than this E3, because Capcom will want to show something, and then we can get down to business on the old TGB YouTube channel, talking about whatever it is. Okay, goody good. Finally, let's touch upon what I've been playing recently that I haven't talked about in my videos. Again, not that much. It's a funny thing that when you make videos about video games, you kind of just play the video games that you're making the videos on, because you kind of burn out on them when you get around to having free time. But I have been getting into the wonderful Hollow Knight, which I mentioned in my latest Metroid Samus Returns video. I didn't expect to enjoy Hollow Knight as much as I am doing, and in fact, I'm enjoying it so much I might have to make a proper video about it, even though I feel like this is like an indie game, and I assume tons of people have already done a "whoa guys, this is amazing" kind of video on it, but I really like it. I didn't think I'd like it so much. It delivered me the kind of 2D Metroidvania experience I've wanted from Metroid for ages, even from Castlevania. If you've seen my Samus Returns video, I assume you already inferred that from what I was saying about it. But geez, this is such a enrapturing game, you know? It's the dark, moody visuals combined with the eerie soundtrack. It makes you feel like you're at the cinema or something, but in a good way, where you're like, I'm being taken into this alternate world of little nooks and crannies and creatures that roam around in the darkness, you know? But it's not just that, the gameplay is really fun as well. It's got really fun, you know, simple, like, choppy gameplay. But I love stuff like the whole bouncing on enemies with your sword, using that to not just attack, but to get around the environment. It's a tiny little thing like that that adds a lot of depth to the moment-to-moment gameplay when you're getting around, and that's what these games are about, really. They're about exploring and getting around quickly. You know, Samus Returns added the counter move, which sort of impaired your ability to get around quickly, but in Hollow Knight, jumping on top of enemies' heads, slashing down at them, you can use that to improve, like increase the speed at which you get from place to place, as well as how quickly you defeat enemies. I love how the health that you get, like the sort of magic potion stuff that you can use to regen your health, can also be used as your projectile ammunition, which, you know, gives you something to think about there. Do you want to deal more damage, or do you want to be more secure in the fact that you have more health? That's such a cool decision to make on the fly. It's, forgive the phrase, it's hardcore gaming, bro. It's like, are you a bad enough dude not to need the health? You're just gonna go in and do the killing? Sometimes enemies are down and you can go in for another attack, or you can regen your health yourself, and that's such a, like, a fight or flight moment to be in and to think about what to do. And I haven't finished the game yet, but so far it's really cool, and I recommend it to you, my lovely patrons, if you're looking for Metroidvania to play. So yeah. So that's going to be it for me for today. Thanks everyone for backing, and thanks everyone for listening. I'll catch you next month. Hopefully there'll be another video out in January, or I shouldn't say that shit. Jesus Christ. But hopefully there'll be another video out in January, and it will be good. That's the most you can ask for, really, from me, isn't it? Okay. Signing out. See you later.